There's so much information out there, and there's never quite enough time to keep up with everything.
Maintaining a healthy culture in that sense is absolutely essential, because if you can't bring 100% of yourself to work, then why are you doing it?
I promote it by setting the expectation with the teams that I work with and the people who report to me.
I think I wish I had more time in the day just to read. The most time-consuming process in FP&A, I'm going to say preparing management reports or budget decks or anything like that that requires translating, what we have in kind of spreadsheet data form into charts and graphs and things like that, but a visual representation.
So I think the most time-consuming processes are anytime there's bad data, when time is spent cleaning data or reconciling data. Time sucks from our team as opposed to spending more time in thoughtful analysis or being able to tell the story about the data.
I think the way that we approach that is we've set up a lot of templates. So for board report or the monthly kind of manager reporting or other things like that, where we know exactly what we're going to have to drop in. So I've kind of set up those templates so the charts are more or less ready to go as soon as we have the data, to try and save as much time as possible there, at least removing a little bit of the manual task of selecting and building and all of those things.
Analysis and reanalysis and reanalysis. A lot of times the processes that happen every month, while they do take a while and sometimes are inefficient, eventually through repetition become more and more and more efficient.
We do spend a lot of time reporting, so management reporting is a big time for us. So a lot of that in the past was taking something from our FP&A tool, downloading it into Google Sheets, making it look nice, and then putting it into a Google slide, and then coming up with all the commentary. And it's a lot of time, especially when you're doing that once a month. Since we've moved to Pigment, we're more focused on taking things directly out of Pigment.
But it's ad hoc analyses and thinking, and as I mentioned earlier, relitigation of issues that start to cycle and cause this analysis paralysis that take the most time. Because not only are you having to address and analyze the numbers, you're having to address and analyze the people around the numbers. Just like I said, right? Every number is a decision that someone has made, an action that someone has taken.
I would probably say that for the high value add things I work on, data ends up taking up a huge portion of that time.
The first and foremost is just me making it very clear to the team that I'm very flexible, and as long as deadlines are met, as long as deliverables are to the standard required, I want my team to be focused on getting stuff done, but also taking time when they need to look after themselves, to be with their families.
So maintaining a healthy culture in that sense is absolutely essential, because if you can't bring 100% of yourself to work, then why are you doing it?
I promote it by setting the expectation with the teams that I work with and the people who report to me. Even if in my job I don't always have time for focused work the way that I would like to, I try to tell everybody that reports to me or that works with me that they should be setting aside an hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon to be able to knock out the difficult problems they face.
We encourage everyone basically to block off certain parts of their days or weeks to have like a focus time effectively. I think it works really well to just have periods that you're going to be able to actually do the work versus getting caught up in emails and meetings and other things that break up your day and make it really hard to actually do the deep focus.
It's really just flexibility and communication. I mean, we just make sure that everyone is well aware of the deadlines that are set, what time that deadline is, so everyone's kind of working towards the same end goal from a timing perspective.
Well, we certainly have a backlog of tasks that we track. There are plenty of times where when we're partnering with departments or something like that and they have a request of finance, if it's not driving immediate value and there are other priorities on our backlog, then we'll tell them we need to put this off, or we'll give them, here's a quick way to analyze this, and you can self-serve.
What I tell people to do is I tell them that I don't want to assign all of the tasks that they're going to do in a given week or month or quarter. I stole this from Google a little bit, but Google tells their engineers to spend 20% of their time on a project that they think is compelling or that they think would be useful to the company. And I think that my teams should have a similar mindset.
I think from an FP&A perspective and finance perspective, there's peaks and troughs. There's definitely times where you're very, very busy, and there's definitely times where you're less so. So what we've tried to do is we try to spread things out over the course of the month, be that maybe pulling up meetings or pulling up deliverables to a lot earlier than they would have been, maybe using more estimated numbers than final numbers, but still knowing that they're going to be good enough. So it's really trying to spread things out over the course of the month. I think it is kind of helping us and helping the team avoid the really late nights.
If you can model appropriately and you have the right data and cleansing the data, then, I mean, monthly close is a perfect example. Our monthly close process now, in terms of doing a variance analysis, it's within, we could have it ready in 6 hours. 3 hours. It's a single workday because of the tools that we use.
I wish I had more time for deep focused work.
I think I wish I had more time in the day just to read.
Wish I had even more time to coach and ensure that we're bringing everybody along with the decisions we're making and how we're making those decisions.
Spending time building the models too, it just really helps inform a lot of the decision makers.
There's so much information out there, and there's never quite enough time to keep up with everything.
The more you can learn, the more you can read, the more you can sponge up, the better you'll be at making decisions with context, because more likely than not, whatever's happening right now has probably already happened in one way or another.